Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. Today is the 22nd of February and we are on the FTSE 100 as usual. So let me quickly run you through the analysis that I've done for this morning. No real immediate trade setups on my radar at the moment. You can see here on the 5-minute time frame that we're just in a band that I've identified around the sort of 7220, 7225 level. We got one just below the 7200 level, and we got one above price currently, and one below there that I've marked in as well. Like I say, no real immediate trade setups that I'm looking for, which I sometimes get on the morning. I'll be just watching these bands and to see how price reacts as and when it gets into them. So you can see we're just moving back up into this one this morning. So if it wanted to sort of give me sell signals from within this band, I'd be happy to look at that. Or if it wants to start moving through it, break out at the top of it, move back in, and start giving me buy signals, equally, I'd be happy to look at that as well. It's just waiting to see what it decides to do, really. Looking at the higher time frames, you can see that we had a bit of a choppy day yesterday, and then we got this move up, and we consolidated up just below the 7300 level, and then we popped higher and we sold right off, so right back down into these levels. So obviously the momentum in the immediate past is a little bit bearish. We're below the ATMAs on the hourly and the 4 hourly, so currently I guess it's nicely set up for a short. If it was to set up for that would be good. But equally, it could quite easily turn this round and start looking bullish again. There's nothing too concerning on here about taking a long, especially from the band down here. This is quite a nice area for a long. So, like I say, it's just a case of waiting. So I'll update you a little bit further down the line. Okay, so I'm just watching here for a potential short below this candle. It's a low of 12.3. I'm going to be in at 11.2. I'm going to put this in at reduced stakes because of the high volatility, so the order's in. Just double check. Just waiting for it to trigger now. Obviously oh no, it has done. I can bring the ticket across for you. So there's the ticket. Basically, we've popped up right into the top of this band here. We've closed through the ATMA on the hourly, but we've only tested it on the 4 hour. And with the momentum that we've had so far this morning, I'm happy to take a short, looking for a move down to here, down to this lower band. It'll be something around 1-to-1, I would imagine. Risk reward on this trade, so the stop will just be just above this candle. And we're looking for a move down, basically, like I say, into this band, just below the 7200 level. So if we get that, that's where I'll look to come out of this one. So I'll leave the ticket here so you can see how it runs, and we'll see how it gets on. Right, we're just coming up to 9 o'clock. We're actually finally breaking down below this low here. We held through that for a long old while, and we've started to move down. We do have some news at 9 o'clock, hence the volatility is picking up a little bit. So I'm just going to add the stop losses. I'm going to move the stop to just above here now. So a high of pretty much 72.30. Stop there, and the take profit is going to be, let's have a look. We're looking at about 18 points down to there. We want to be looking really probably about 194, just above the S2. So submit that. Bring the ticket back across. Just in case it does spike on the news. I don't know if it will or won't. It's just precautionary, really. So there, the stop and target in now. I mean, we're basically at where we opened the trade, a little bit below where we opened the trade. In hindsight, it was a trade that originated from the top of this band really that I wanted. And if I could have, obviously, if I'd have known that this candle here would have happened or this candle here would have happened, I would have waited, because this gives me a much better risk to reward. It gives me a smaller risk, excuse me, and a much bigger reward, which is obviously better for when you're identifying your trades. But this met all the criteria really that I was looking for. It was a decent candle with a decent wick to the above, great rejection on the candle. It's originated from the area that I was looking from. It's just it didn't go from there, but obviously it's held within the body of this candle and started to move down now. So whether we get the follow through in the next couple of minutes as the news is announced and everything remains to be seen. But yeah, obviously the only thing that would have stopped me taking this particular signal is if the risk to reward was so bad that I couldn't take it, and there's actually a 1-to-1 risk reward opportunity there, which meant it was good enough to take. Had this come a little bit lower, say into the low, I probably would have ignored it and hoped that we'd got another signal from up here, which obviously we did in the end, but we didn't know that at the time. So you've just got to have sort of certain mechanisms, certain decisions, processes that you can say, does this do this, yes or no, and you can act on that. And that keeps you objective, really. I'm not upset I haven't waited for these, because A, they don't always happen, and B, really, there was nothing wrong with the signal that I took. It's just not as good as these, but there you are. So I'll stop rambling. It's 30 seconds till the news. Let's see what happens. Okay, so just another update. We're coming up to, we're 25 past 9, coming up to 9:30. And we have had a reaction at this band, which is obviously what I look for. But looking across at the previous times that we've come into this band, we've got pretty much down to that S2 level. And now my take profit was a little bit above that S2 level. And if it had come a bit lower, I was sort of lingering ready to close it. But it didn't. It's popped into that band and it's reacted from there. Now, we're coming into sort of the area where we took the trade, where we did stall previously. So, having already basically got to the target area that I was looking at and reacted before I could get out, really, I'm not willing to let this move too far against me now. Basically, the trade that I was looking for has happened. If that's all it's going to go, then so be it. It has had a move down, which is what I was looking for. So if we can close basically above this little blue line that I've drawn in here, my stop will just come to 2 points below, 2 points above, the candle that closes through here. And then if it continues to move up, I will be out. We're literally sat at where I got into this trade. I think we got to about 14 points out of the 18, a little bit further than I thought, actually. But like I say, I was just looking for that little bit extra. It wasn't in there long, and I was expecting, really, for it to react from here and carry on moving down, but that never happened. So we'll just have to see if the reaction comes here. If it doesn't, this is the last place that I'm willing to see if a reaction take place. If it doesn't happen there, I will be out. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we've gone 10 past 10, and this trade is really not going anywhere at the minute. Obviously, we've had the move down. I updated you just as I was sort of looking at this sort of area here, and we're just sort of chopping between there now. Unfortunately, I have got to go out for a little bit, so I'm just going to set this stop loss. I'm just trying to decide where to put it, really. The obvious place is just 2 points above the high of the sort of little chop that we're getting at the moment, so it'd be around 7217. But I have noticed that the hourly ATMA is around 16. So I'm thinking 2 points above that, which is only another point higher. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it down to 7218. submit that. If I bring the ticket back across. So yeah, the stop is just up at 18 now. Like I say, the trade really has done what I was looking for it to do, to come into this band. I just thought that we would get a little bit extra just to make the trade 1-to-1. When in actual fact, maybe in hindsight, as it was sort of news induced as well, I should have just got out in the band. But never mind, we're still in it for now. If it is going to come back into this band, I would expect it to come, a good way into it next time. There's been multiple tests of this band now. So I will leave the take profit where it is. And if it does start moving down, then fantastic. But obviously the stop's where it is now. So I'll leave this running. I've got to pop out for an hour, maybe 2, I think. It just depends, really. So I'll see where this is when I get back. Right, we're 10-3. I'm back hours later than I thought I'd be. And obviously our ticket is now well and truly closed. It actually got stopped out not long after I left this morning. Sod's law, really. So yeah, our stop came up to, I think, 17, and it popped up and easily took us out there. You can see we've chopped around really for the majority of the day since then, and then we are now finally having this push down just as I speak to where the take profit would have been. So if I'd have left the stop where it was originally, this would be working out as a profitable trade. But that really wasn't something I was interested in doing, to be honest. So I don't mind. Now, as far as any trades go this afternoon, like I said, we're coming up 10-3. This is a very good band for looking for potential bounces. Probably just back up to the band above. So depending on how and if price sets up in this band, we may get another trade this afternoon. So I'm back now. I'll continue to watch for the rest of the trading day, and if I do get any more setups, I will run you through them. Right, we have not had to wait long really for a trade setup. We're going to get one above here, the 201.4. I'll just enter that now. 101.4. What's the stop on this looking like? About 10ish points. We can increase the stakes a little. Trying to stay within that risk parameter that we set, that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. So that order is in now. I'll bring the ticket across. There we are. And yeah, basically, like we said, we've had a lot of chop. This is a good area to look for a bounce. We're getting those buy signals come in. My only concern is no test of this. But it really hasn't moved that far down, to be honest. So it's not like a major swing. I would, if it does touch this, comes up, touch this, starts reacting, then I wouldn't be too unnerved by that. I would be happy to hold through that, for example. Again with the low as well, this red line. So basically just a short move back up towards this band is what I'm looking for. We're just sort of hanging around the 7200 level. Again, the round number sort of helps. You can see we've yet to close below it really on the hourly chart here. So there's some good signs for the trade. If we can get triggered, maybe we can have a bit of a run up just before the close. We've got an hour and a half to the close, so plenty of time. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to close this trade just there. We finally moved up into this band. We did get that reaction that we were talking about into these lows. It was really more sort of this sort of region as a whole where it reacted. It spiked right up through it and then managed to close right below this low here. We had a little reaction, I think it popped down to basically where we got in, and then obviously it's moved right up to this 200. So a decent little trade in the end. To be honest, part of what made me a little bit more confident about this trade was just the choppy nature of the market today. We've not really had any follow through to any moves. We finally broke below sort of this low here, and instantly you're getting reversal signals and no signals of any sort of continuation, which just makes it a little bit more, gives you that little bit more confidence in the trade that you're taking. I mean, you only have to look at the hourly to see how choppy it's been, and when you look across at this band here, it's performed really well. Okay, we've poked lower now, but again, close-wise, we've not actually managed to close in this entire band over the last couple of days here. So it was a really decent area to look for a trade, and it's worked out really nicely in the end. So I'm not sure what we finished up on. I think we made about 13 points there. Did we lose about 5 or 6 earlier? So we finished about 8 points up, I think, for the day, which is not bad all in all. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it useful as always. If you have, please do leave a like on the video. It helps out a lot. And if you are enjoying the content on the channel, please consider subscribing. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week.